I'm officially declaring 3 weeks from Tuesday is the official start of crypto summer. There's no more sellers, right? Sellers are gone. There are a lot of people who are short. Those short squeezes are over. If we get even a whiff of demand, like normie demand, it's going to be unbelievable. And look, I think that's where we're headed. Like we're going to see a parabolic move.
Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Talk Crypto. Investor Mark Yusko, CEO of Morgan Creek Capital Management, has been calling the bottom of the bear market and stating that we were in crypto spring. In a recent interview with Blockworks Macro, Yusko shared his take on what's coming for Bitcoin, as well as his outlook and price targets for the next bull run. He has now officially declared the beginning of crypto summer, as data suggests that there are no more sellers present, along with an influx of global liquidity driving markets up even further. He recalls last year as being very tough for the crypto market, with the downfall of Terra Luna in June, followed by the crash of FTX, and a crackdown on crypto by regulators. However, there is no evidence of any more liquidations in the foreseeable future. Yusko also emphasized that despite the apprehensions surrounding the Shanghai upgrade, Ethereum has slightly outperformed Bitcoin in the past few weeks, and even some altcoins have experienced tremendous gains during this rally. Yusko further highlights who has been buying in this rally, and predicts a parabolic move leading up to the halving, which could take Bitcoin way higher than $100,000. Let's listen to Yusko's outlook for Bitcoin as he makes the case for crypto summer beginning in just 3 weeks. But before we do, please consider subscribing to our channel, as we bring you daily content on the latest crypto news. And now, let's jump right into the video.
I am wearing the Bitcoin orange pants today. I have the Bitcoin bull sock game going. So the cape and the big green candles. And I'm pretty psyched about, I'm officially declaring 3 weeks from Tuesday is the official start of crypto summer. That also happens to be my birthday, but that's going to be the official start of crypto summer. There's no more sellers, right? Sellers are gone. All the big leveraged bad guys are gone. And it turns out that I just did a presentation on this yesterday. Hash rate, new all-time high. Number of wallets, new all-time high. Number of wallets with greater than 0.1 Bitcoin, new all-time high. Transaction size and volume, not all-time high, but coming back to being close. My point of my presentation yesterday was, crypto summer, surfing on a wave of global liquidity. China printed $1 trillion since October, trillion with a T. Japan, another couple hundred billion. The Fed put 300 billion back on their balance sheet. So, we've got $1.5 trillion of liquidity sloshing around, and turns out people buy things that they like. And there's a whole bunch of people that like crypto, and Bitcoin and ETH are the biggest beneficiaries, but it's going down the ladder too. I'm with you. I just look at the data, right? The data is there's more buyers than sellers of ETH. ETH, I think I have this right, over the past couple weeks has even outperformed BTC. I mean, it was up 5% yesterday. It crashed through 2000 and hit 2100 very quickly. So yes, there's a legitimate fear that, people would unlock or de-risk some portion of what they've been staking. But I kind of come to it as there's no evidence of that, right? There's just no evidence in the markets of big liquidations of really anything. And there's some lower level coins that have just been going batshit crazy. I don't really count the first 4 years. I know I should, but I don't really, right? Because it was a science project and we're dealing in fractions of a penny. It wasn't real, right? It wasn't there. The last 10 years, it's real. And in the last 10 years, 8 of those 10 years, including this year, Bitcoin's the best performing asset of all assets. Over the whole 10-year period, it is the best performing asset. And that's why I'm befuddled when people still have zero exposure. I'm not saying you should have 100%. I mean, that's not logical. But zero is the wrong number. It's just the wrong number. It's tough to maintain optimism and energy in the face of constant beatings, right? You know, the whole line, you know, the beatings will continue until morale improves. Well, morale ain't going to improve. I mean, you know, you beat people down and they will sink lower and lower. And it was a summer of beatings last summer. Or fall. It was a fall of beatings. And, you know, bad people doing bad things and then government actors doing bad things. And suddenly there's this reprieve. Now, look, I do think it's the calm before the storm. I don't think that then they fight you phase is over. I think it's going to come back with us. You know, Ms. Warren is assembling her crypto army. Could there be literally a dumber campaign slogan than that? And look, this Restrict Act, if you are not terrified by the Restrict Act, you are not paying attention. Look, the Patriot Act, at least they had the decency to disguise the malevolence by calling it Patriot. This is a personal affront to the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights says we have rights. This says, no, we can restrict your rights. If you have an app that we don't approve of, you go to jail. No due process. What?
Yeah.
My ownership of an asset can put me in jail with no due process? Really?
I know.
Now, I don't believe it's going to pass, but the fact that someone actually wrote that, Michael,
I'm with you.
that's literally crazy. I think part of the challenge for you, for me, for you know, people like Jack, for people like Jim, that actually look at data, is we get a dose of reality, right? And when you look at the actual data, and you look at, you know, economic slowing and deglobalization and, you know, closing of trade routes, and you look at what just happened with China and Saudi and Russia and what that means for the petrodollar system, it's really pretty easy to get kind of, I won't say bearish, but definitely concerned that, like I said, there's another shoe to drop. But here's the thing. And this was the point of the global liquidity wave. The world has decided, and look, and when I say the world, I do mean that. I think, you know, every year around WEF, the leaders get together and the finance people, the central bankers, which this kind of does piss me off, right? Because I remember a time when the central banks were not important. They were not gods. They were not the most important people in the world. Now they are, because they are keeping the Ponzi afloat. And what they decided was to turn the spigots back on. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it QE. You can call it not QT. You can call it, you know, lender of last resort. You can call it BTFD, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. Hundreds of billions, trillions of dollars are flowing into the global economy. And that is going to push risk assets. Crypto is where it is. Look, crypto's up 100%. It's all people who are already in. There's no new volume from retail. Now, who is buying? Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor just bought another 1,000 BTC. He now owns one out of every 150 Bitcoin that will ever exist in history. He's basically created, I love this, he's actually created the Bitcoin ETF that the SEC won't approve.
He has.
And it's levered, which is even better, because there's no way they would approve that. So, you know, his stock's up 150% off the bottom, not 100, because he's got the leverage. And so he's buying. Well, who else is buying? Well, CZ had to buy a bunch to, you know, give people the money that they withdrew, because he had a big run on the bank when he got sued by the US government. Again, just more FUD. So big short squeezes. There are a lot of people who are short. Those short squeezes are over. If we get even a whiff of demand, like normie demand, it's going to be unbelievable. And look,
Yeah.
I think that's where we're headed. Like we're going to see a parabolic move coming up to the halving, or maybe following the halving. I'm not sure exactly the timing, but sometime between, May 9th of this year and May 9th of next year, we will see a FOMO rally just like every other cycle. And I don't know what the number is going to be. I'm very solidly in the camp that every halving we get a zero. 10, 100,000, 10,000. This one's 100,000, and so that becomes the anchor of value. The network increases by tenfold over a 4-year cycle. But you can go way above that. I mean, way. So who knows? At 10, we got all the way to 70. So that was way too high. And then, we never got back to 10. That's interesting.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin is hovering the $30,000 mark, and the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap has been trading for nearly $2,000. They have both increased by around 80% year to date. Although this surge in price has been remarkable, Yusko believes that what's to come is even bigger. He predicts a parabolic move leading up to the halving in 2024 that will take Bitcoin price to $100,000 or much higher. What do you think of Yusko's price prediction for Bitcoin? Are we finally starting the crypto summer? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This is Let's Talk Crypto, and we'll see you in the next video.